From Alphond Arena on the campus of the University of Maine, the New England Sports Network presents exclusive coverage of Hockey East. Tonight, the Providence College Friars take on the University of Maine Black Bears. Brought to you by Busch Beer, the beer with the taste as smooth as its name. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to NESN's coverage of Friday night's battle, the first of two meetings this weekend between Maine and Providence. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Bob Norton. We're delighted to have you with us tonight. 1 month left in the regular season, Bob. All of these games become important, particularly when you look at the Hockey East standings and see that with 1 month to go, the top 6 teams of the league are separated by 6 points. Maine is in 5th place right now, but only 5 games out of first, with 2 games in hand on first place Boston College. Providence 3rd place, just 3 points out. They also have 2 games in hand. This is a big weekend.
It sure is. It's a tremendously balanced league. BC's found a good time to get hot. They've been very good since Christmas. Maine, surprisingly, has lost a number of its games within Hockey East. Providence and Maine have had great games last year. NCAA playoffs up here. They settled it in double overtime, Maine winning. So it's been a great series lately. Maine's had the advantage, but I'm expecting a fine game tonight.
Maine certainly has had the advantage lately in this rivalry. They've won 12 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams, and they're also looking ahead to 5 straight games at home. That begins with tonight's game. Providence at 17-4-3 overall this year. One of the great stories in the league is Larry Rooney.
Larry Rooney, you talk about comeback players, only played 10 games last year, had a broken leg, but he's played spectacularly on defense this year for them and leads the team in power play goals with 5. Just had a heck of a season. I think not only is he a comeback player, he's one of the best defensemen in the league. And
as Bob mentions, just 14 career points coming into this. His junior year, he has 18 points this season. Fell on the other side for Maine, who does not get much of the headlines, as Larry Rooney does not. Jim Burke from Newton. Yeah, out of New Prep. Jim Burke is, he has a reputation as a very solid defensive guy, very good in his own end. But, he's chipped in 4 goals this year, giving them some offensive punch they weren't expecting. Very solid, gives them real good stability at the back line. Very important matchup tonight between Maine and Providence. We'll have the opening face-off from Alphond Arena right after this.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry, and this is my new 1989 Pro Basketball Scouting Report. It's an in-depth analysis of over 400 NBA players and draft picks. In it, I detail the strengths and weaknesses in areas such as shooting, scoring, rebounding, and defense. It's the perfect TV companion for the NBA fan. Here's how to order.
To order Rick Barry's Pro Basketball Scouting Report, call toll-free 1-800-451-4800. MasterCard, Visa, and American Express accepted. Order yours today.
On October 2nd, 1983, Carl Yastrzemski stood at home plate for the final at-bat of his great career. This 16x20 color print recalls that moment as the fans of Boston said goodbye to one of the greatest stars in Red Sox history. To order a print personally autographed by Yastrzemski, send check or money order for $50 plus 5% sales tax to Sports Action Merchandise, P.O. Box 23, Medford, Massachusetts, 02155.
We're back at Alphond Arena in Orono, Maine. The officials working tonight's game. The referee is Jim Fitzgerald. The linesman on the left of your screen, Chuck Winters. And on the right, John Jones. In goal for Providence College, the senior from Uxbridge, Massachusetts. He leads the nation in goals against average for goalies who have played 10 games or more, Matt Merton.
In his last 6, though, Sean, 2.25. His last 13 games, 10-1-2 going over last year. So he's played very well out of Mount St. Charles and Stratford.
And at the other end of the ice, the junior from West Haven, Connecticut, Matt Del Judas.
Transferred from St. Anselm's, 26-6. A career record in the nets for the University of Maine. That's pretty dandy.
And a draft choice of the Boston Bruins. Sean Walsh in his 6th season as head coach at the University of Maine, assisted by Bruce Crowder back on the bench tonight. As we mentioned at the outset, his team starting 5 straight home games, and they've taken the all-time series lead over Providence College by winning the only previous meeting this season at Schneider Arena in Providence back in November by a score of 4-2. Maine has won 12 of the last 14 between these two schools, and right off the bat, an icing call against Maine. Mike McShane, his team 38-33-5 since December 3rd of 1988.
He's just done a great job bringing back this Providence program. One of the stories of the night, Sean, will be Bennett, injured January 24th, arthroscopic surgery after a game against Brown, playing tonight. First game back from that arthroscopic surgery. It'll be interesting to see how he gets along.
He missed only 2 games after undergoing arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. Maine in the home white. Mike Barkley's pass, fielded by Brian Belfay along the near boards, then knocked away by Jeff Sorowick to Sean Kane, number 4. He played it off quickly to Rob Gaudreau. His drive blocked by Christian Lalonde and cleared out by Ken Salfi. Sorowick sends it cross ice. It hopped over the stick of Bennett, picked up by Claudio Scriven. His pass was intercepted by Bennett and hauled in by Bobak. Now Patton Madigan, number 19, the junior from Crookston, Minnesota. Took a check along the near boards from Jean-Yves Roy. Mike Barkley tried to feed Roy, the leading scorer in Hockey East as far as goals are concerned. Couldn't find the pass. He has 29 goals in this his freshman year.
Tied a record set by Scott Pellerin, 29 goals by a freshman here at Maine, and he still has plenty of time left to go in the season.
Mario Obey centers one. Lyle Wildgoose walks right in, and he's stopped by Del Judas. The goal light came on, but that wasn't even close. And Del Judas covers the puck. Looked like he had him down and out, but he couldn't lift the puck. And I don't know why the goal light came on. That wasn't even close.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that Del Judas stops as his Wildgoose loses control just at the last moment, finally gets it, just tries to sweep it into the net. You can see the puck right there outside the goal crease. Del Judas came down and protected the goal line with the glove. Wildgoose, you saw reaching for the puck, really didn't have much leverage to get it upstairs as he lost control coming across the middle. No goal. Good call by referee Fitzgerald. The goal light incorrectly went on.
Right off the face-off, Madigan threw a shot on net. It was turned aside by Del Judas. Now Wildgoose in the corner had it taken away by Keith Carney. Randy Olson's pass was behind Roy, taken back by Larry Rooney. He drove it in on Del Judas. Larry Rooney's brother Mark at one time was a teammate of Matt Del Judas at St. Anselm. Carney to Olson, he slides it in. We've played a minute and a half, no score. And Matt Merton covered the puck and took a little snow in the face from Scott Pellerin.
Well, that was a wise cover by Merton early on in the game. Roy was the first man in on it as he broke toward the goal line. Merton saw that, looked up, saw Roy ahead of the Providence defense, throws the puck. The face-off is going to be to his right. We've just started. 18:28 remaining in the first period here at Alfond Arena. There's no score. How long have they had that scoreboard up here? That's sort of nifty. Is that new?
It is a nice addition to Alfond Arena.
It's great.
That would have been an icing call. It's waved off as Del Judas came out to play it. Not sure the puck would have reached the goal line before the defenseman got back anyway. Now Burke up the middle, intercepted by Paul Sondercook, taken back by Burke. Jim Montgomery played it through his legs to Justin Tomberlin, then he was knocked down by David Gooden, number 13. Merton sweeps it out quickly, and Burke takes it back into his own zone. He's on defense with Dan Murphy, number 11. Free puck picked up by Tomberlin. Has Robitaille heading for the net. Tried to feed Robitaille, but Pat Becker was back-checking on the play for Providence. Todd Hyber played it ahead to Bob Cowan. The freshman from Minneapolis drove it in. It was blocked by Del Judas. He left it right out in front, and Becker had a great opportunity, but was denied. A couple of Black Bears there. Del Judas thought they were going to handle it. None of his teammates did. Becker said, "Thank you very much," picked it up and walked right in. And Del Judas had to make the big play. Paul Flaherty tried a centering pass. It never reached the front of the net. And the puck is cleared out by Brian Downey, number 20. 17:15 remaining in a scoreless first period. Paul Flaherty has missed most of the season because of an ankle injury. Downey shot it in, then Flaherty upended him. Sorowick sent it up the middle to Andy Mattice. This is the fourth line, but Mike McShane said before the game this line has played very well for Providence. Mattice a backhand, turned aside by Del Judas, picked up by Steve Widmeyer along the far boards. Lalonde didn't connect with Steve Tepper. Back comes Andy Mattice with Flaherty trailing. Mattice has his shot deflected out of the ring. No score with 16:45 left in the first period. You're watching Hockey East on Nesson.
So, did you break him, Raj?
Break him? I own him. That horse and I are one. We achieved a special kind of oneness. Man and beast. speaking the same language.
What's that mean? Means they'll be talking again tomorrow.
Follow the bouncing ball. And follow it. Follow the bouncing ball in over 100 college basketball games on Netflix.
That little sloppy play in Maine's defensive end as Del Judas gets caught between a rock and a hard place there. Becker just comes in on him as Del Judas frozen, doesn't know what to do with the puck, got himself in a lot of trouble. The puck deflected to the corner, and they dodge one there.
And still no score. Providence has had a couple of great chances. Played just more than 3 minutes. Long pass. Brian Belfay had a top over his stick. He was looking to head in alone. Belfay back to the line. Brian Straub, wrist shot, kicked out by Burton. Carney one-time it. That was deflected over the net. Up from the point, Straub to flip it into the corner. Jeff Robeson, number 3, with Belfay in forechecking. And the sophomore from Rentham, Mass, threw it into an open corner. Keith Carney there first. His pass too high for Salfi to knock out of midair. Belfay checked by Robeson. Rooney threw a pick on Salfi to spring Boback. He turned it back over to Carney. And Robeson's back after. Across to Rooney. Maine makes a line change as Bennett sends it in. Then he was checked down by Pellerin. Keith Carney from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, had his pass go through 2 teammates, and Paul Saundercook shot it right back in. 15:45 left first period, no score. On the scoreboard, they have the shots on goal at 5 for Providence. They've been piling up plenty of shots, and they've been doing a good job preventing the opposition from getting many shots, although Mike McShane says that can sometimes be a double-edged sword as the goalie doesn't always stay in the game when he doesn't face many shots. In his own zone, Burke held off Obey to allow Murphy to clear. Roy tipped it to Olsen. His pass went off the stick of Obey, picked up by Roy. Roy snaps the shot off and just missed, and the whistle stops the play. Apparently the play was offside, and it's so loud here at sold-out Alfond Arena that you could not hear the whistle.
You know, Sean, talking about Providence getting shots, 14 times this season they've gotten 40 shots in a game. Only 2 teams so far this year have outshot them, BU and Northeastern. So they've been generating plenty of offense. This is Jean-Yves Jouard, 29 goals on his freshman season. And there you see one of the reasons, a very quick snapshot as he broke across the blue line.
This game, the 78th consecutive home sellout for the University of Maine, dating back to the 86-87 season. More than 4,000 crammed to this building, and as usual, the standing room people have been holding their spots for almost 2 hours. Lalonde moves away from the forechecking of Cowan. Tomberlin had trouble as he fielded the pass at his skates. No score, 14:40 left in the first period. Jeff Sorowick played it back into his own zone. Kane couldn't haul it in. Merton left it for Kane, but Kane turned away. Providence almost returned the favor, leaving the puck out in front of its own net. Robitaille taken to the boards by Cowan. Now David Gooden, and the senior from Watertown, cleared it out. That'll be an icing call against Providence College. 14:15 remaining in a scoreless first period, and we'll return right after this.
Cooper. Introducing the most advanced hockey protection ever with the new Cooper Super Pro line. The secret is in Cooper's Armor Foam protection system and advanced air suspension technology. Play smart with the new lightweight Cooper Super Pro line. Tough as armor, light as air. The world plays hockey with Cooper.
some of the best young fighters in the country battle for their shot at the title on Fight Night from the fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock right here on your New England Sports Network.
And there's the impressive scoreboard that Bob referred to earlier, showing no score with 14:15 left in the first period. Steve Tepper on the face-off.
That was not a good face-off lineup at all.
Indeed, it was not, and Andy Mattice won it for Providence. Keith Carney, back of the net, Tepper. One times it out in front. Straub in from the point. Takes the shot over the net. In the corner, Brian Downey. He centered it, but Bob Kramer, the sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island, was there to pick it off for Providence. Flaherty sends it in. Straub into the corner for Maine. Lost it momentarily to Mattice. He's wrapped up by Tepper. At the line, Steve Widmeyer takes a check from Flaherty. And Mattice came back to poke the puck back into the zone. Ryan Straub, transfer from the University of North Dakota. Moves to center ice, didn't connect with Downey, but Tepper picked up the puck. He has the size advantage along the boards with Saundercook. Downey checked off the play by Mattice. And Gaudreau left the puck for Paul Saundercook. His shot goes off the glove of Del Judas and out of the rink. With 13:20 left in the first period, no score.
Early on in the game, it's very difficult to tell how a goaltender is going to be playing over 60 minutes. Merton, early in the game, looks very confident out at the top of the crease, very aggressive on the few shots that he's faced. Del Judas, on the other hand, has been a little bit uncertain with a couple of plays in front of him. There's the Maine Black Bear record at home, 13-2-1. Very, very tough in this rink.
And 7-0-1 over the last 8 home games. They will have 4 more home games consecutively after tonight, including a battle on Saturday night with Providence College. This is the first game of the 2-game series. This game being played on Friday night as you watch it on tape delay on Nesson.
That little face-off play was a dangerous kind of play in your own end for Maine. Gaudreau lined up at the left wing. He's a right shot, lined up at the left wing. Comes behind the face-off and picks up the fullback draw. Gets on the forehand, and in that play got a shot off on Del Judas.
Barkley won the face-off back to Burke. He got a long pass to Southby that missed, but the puck came right into Merton. Now Saundercook. Headed off the backboards to Hyber. This pass didn't connect with Gaudreau. Taken back by Murphy at center ice. And sent back out by Hyber. Thrown back in by Burke. We've played 7 minutes, no score. Providence has had the best chances. Burke's drive blocked by the sprawling Hyber. The puck ricochets all the way down to Del Judas. Now Bennett. And the play ruled offside as Gaudreau was a little bit anxious along the near boards.
Bennett got away with a very careless clearing pass out of his own end. Was lined up on that left wing side. Tried to make a tip pass to Hyber, breaking up the middle, and pass was deflected back to the Maine defense. Hyber blocked the shot and it's deflected out of the zone, but got to be more careful in that, moving the puck out of their own end. He's a big guy, Bennett, 6'4", 215 out of Springfield. Wilbraham, Mass. Played for the Springfield Olympics. Outstanding junior program in the Springfield area. A number of Hockey East and Division I players from the Springfield Olympics.
Johnny's Roy was taken off the play by Sean Kane. Roy has it back, tried to slide it into the circle. It went off a skate. Wild Goose lost the puck to Olsen. Olsen checked into the boards by Sarowick. Obey lost it behind the net. It's free. Olsen out in front. And Pellerin rifled one right on. It was blocked away. And then the clear went right through Lalonde, therefore no icing. Christian Lalonde, forward through most of his career, now a senior, one of the main captains. He's back on defense. Olsen flips it high into the air. And icing the call. The crowd wanted a penalty as Pellerin was spilled as he went down after the puck.
Randy Olsen with the shot. Once again, you see the Scott Pellerin with the shot from the left side. And you're going to see Merton very aggressive outside, top of the crease. Puck comes out, and Pellerin's going to get it. Well, watch Merton start to move out. Moves out, gets to the top of the crease. Outside the top of the crease, cuts down the angle, and makes a nice stop.
And a great feed from Randy Olsen. Played 80 minutes in the first period, no score. Larry Rooney in his own lot. Threw it back into the main zone. Straub almost didn't have enough on the pass as Cowan was looking to intercept. Now he does intercept, throws it into the corner. Becker back of the net for Gooden. He sends it again behind the net. Becker was wrapped up on the play by Robitaille. Tomberlin got a piece of the puck. It bounces free in the corner, and Robitaille is on it. Good aggressive forechecking by that fourth line. Actually, the third line for Providence tonight. Gooden on left wing. The line centered by Cowan with Becker on right wing. Robitaille threw it out in front. Free puck. Burke. Great play with the stick by Merton. Burke tried to draw it to the backhand and walk around him. And Merton poked it away with the stick.
He had him in a tough position. Might have been better off just trying to fire that puck by him. Tried to make the extra move, and Burton made a nice poke check move to get it away. We'll be right back after this.
Sit. Oh! Sit, Poochie. Come to me, you naughty doggy. Sit. How can I teach you to do anything when you don't listen to me, you silly little dog? Sit, Poochie. Poochie, come here at once. Blast you, sit.
If it's out there, it's in here.
Sit.
The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
This puck in front of the net. Now keep your eye on Merton. Merton tries to come out and deflect the center pass. Now he gets in real tough position, but look at that move with the stick. A defenseman move with the stick to poke it away. Burke, instead of firing the shot, tried to make the extra move and lost the opportunity.
And this big crowd trying to spur on the Black Bears in this very important Hockey's game. Jim Burke had it glance off a skate and go wide. Kramer pushed into the boards by Downey. Downey collided with Mattice. Kramer wound up with the puck. He goes 2-on-3 through center with clarity and scales it in back of Del Judas. Murphy up the boards for Tepper. He couldn't handle it. Downey comes to his aid and skates it out. Tried to feed Steve Widmeyer, but he had his head turned the other way, and it's Paul Sondercook. Across the top of his own goal mouth, and then Ivor was smashed down by Widmeyer. Ivor's trying to retrieve his stick as Kramer plays it in the corner, and that's a hand pass. Face-off upcoming in the Providence end with 10:24 remaining in a scoreless first period.
What happened in that situation, Sean, is that Sondercook and Hyber, the two defensemen, didn't read each other very well and got in bad relationships with one another. It's a job of the off defenseman, the defenseman without the puck, to always be in position to help out the defenseman with the puck, to give the man a back pass or some alternative to move the puck that he doesn't get in trouble if he'd have an outlet. That time, Sondercook and Hyber never really got in a good relationship, and when Hyber went to move it, Sondercook wasn't there, and they got themselves in a fix.
Pair of 15s, Barkley and Bobak on the face-off. Bobak brings a 16-game scoring streak into tonight's action. Also scored in 20 of the 21 games in which he's played this year.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I know you'll have plenty more for us. Salfi backhands one wide. Now Gaudreau. Talented sophomore out of Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Bishop Hendrick at high school. He's a marvelous player.
Sean Kane to the line to Gaudreau. Back to Kane. Now Gaudreau winds up. And Lalonde blocked it to the corner. Bobak and Bennett tried it one time in front for Gaudreau. It was deflected. And Belzé. Now Barkley. Along the wing, Lalonde. Burton back of the net. Around for Rick Bennett. He took a check from Pellerin as he cleared it out to center ice. 9:27 left in the first period. No score. Scott Pellerin snapped off the quick shot, then followed it up from a tough angle. Merton blocked them both. Sneaking in Carney. And a penalty coming up here as Roy was knocked down out in front. Interference the call. As Carney was winding up for the shot, Jean-Yves Roy was decked in the slot. I don't know if it was the goalie Merton who got him.
I think it might have been, because they're going to be sending somebody over. Let's watch the play anyway. As Jean-Yves Roy, it's the right thing to do to Roy. You have to knock him down. You can't let him stand there.
No, it was a defenseman.
Yeah, there's the play right there. Check from behind, or cross-check. We call it interference, I think, is what they're going to make the call. Jeff Sorowick from Rye, New Hampshire, out of Lawrence Academy. He's had a heck of a year for Providence. He's high in goals, high in assists, and from that he's got his high in points. 5 goals, 14 assists, 19 points on the season. Was stuck on 3 goals his freshman, sophomore, and junior year, but has had a fine season for Providence.
And Maine on the power play. First penalty of the hockey game.
49 of 177, 28% effectiveness. Providence, excellent shorthand. They've given up 19 goals and 103 shorthands. 18% of the time they're scored on 7 shorthanded goals on the season. Gaudreau 2, Wild Goose 2, Obey 1, Cowan 1, and Kramer 1. So they're dangerous.
Sorowick off for interference at 10:46. The centering pass picked off by Obey. He's out there with Wild Goose. His pass went off the stick of Wild Goose. And Straub is back after. Wild Goose in pursuit. Straub went down. Wild Goose out in front. Obey was all alone in front of the net, but he missed the pass as it bounced past him. Carney had to get rid of it as Obey closed in. Downey took a chop from Sondercook and went down. Downey got back up and poked it to Roy. Out in front, Montgomery denied by Merton. Jim Montgomery right in front of the net, one-timed it, and Merton made a spectacular save to keep the hockey game scoreless.
Well, what happens is that Maine double teams Providence, Sondercook in the corner, and Roy makes a beautiful pass out front to Montgomery. Montgomery one-times it, and Merton makes a beautiful save in front of the net, and is finally able to freeze the rebound off to his right. Just a tremendous pass by Obey, by Roy from behind the net. That was Downey trying to chip in the rebound, but he found Montgomery. You just saw Sondercook get in trouble over there, get double teamed in the corner, and Roy does that beautifully, comes in as that extra man and just pulls the puck away, and they were in trouble after that.
1 minute left on the Maine power play. Claudio Scrimmin played it back to Robitaille. 4 forwards on the power play as Pellerin is the point man along with Scrimmin. They also have Robitaille up top at the moment. This is Randy Olson trying to stuff it home, and it went right through the crease. Pepper was spilled out in front. Olson with 38 seconds left on the power play. Scrimmin shot. Pad save Merton. Olson again tried to wrap around and never did get it to the goal mouth. And it's Bob Kramer now sliding it down for Providence.
Very dangerous right in front there. Hyber had lost his glove, and it was sitting right in front of the goal crease.
See the time remaining on Maine's man advantage, 20 seconds. Still no score. 7:30 left in the first period. As Pellerin shot it in. Merton left it for Kane up the board. Pellerin had trouble with it. Had to take it off the dasher with the glove. He's battling Sondercook. It came free to Gaudreau. Robitaille keeps it at the point. Now Pellerin walking out in front. Scrimmin got a backhand on it, but appeared to miss the net. Either that or Merton slid across and got a piece of it, but it appeared to miss the net off the stick of Claudio Scrimmin. As Providence is back at full strength now. Sorowick is out of the box. Olson sidestepped the check from Sondercook, but lost the puck to the senior from Toronto. Then came back to take it away. Free puck picked up by Tepper. His centering pass was intercepted by Bobak. Now Gaudreau racing Salfi and glanced off Salfi. Gaudreau fell down. Murphy winds up with the puck. With some skating room, Kent Salfi, 3-on-2 Maine into the zone. Now Belfay shot it over the net. Back of the line, Burke taken off the puck by Bennett. 2-on-1 Providence. Rooney with Gaudreau. Gaudreau was tired. Rooney shot. Went between the pads of Del Judas, but didn't sneak behind him. And just outside the line, Robeson sends it back in. Offside waved off. Providence clears the zone simultaneously. Belfay quickly off to Barkley. He was harassed by Obey, and Rooney shot it down past Belfay.
Well, it's been a good period of hockey, Sean. 6:04 remaining. Fast-moving period.
And still no score, but some excellent chances on both sides and some superb goaltending from Del Judas and Merton. Downey couldn't get around steady Sean Kane. Madigan picked up the puck. Obey has Wild Goose with some skating room. Wild Goose lets it fly and just missed. Wild Goose just continues to get better and better with every game. Obey, nice play back to Sarowick. Great pad save. Rebound, still free. And Wild Goose was denied, and he is really upset with Jim Fitzgerald. Madigan also protesting. And the face-off will come outside the zone. Hand past the call. And the Friars didn't like it. We'll return to Alfond Arena right after this.
Everybody scores big by reading College Hockey Magazine, America's only magazine devoted exclusively to the collegiate game. Don't miss out. Subscribe today. 12 issues, only $24. Call 508-531-4311 now.
Tune into Nesson Thursday night for the excitement of live Pac-10 basketball. You can always count on fast-paced action when two Pac-10 foes tip off. So be here Thursday night when the Cougars from Washington State tip off against the Stanford Cardinal, immediately following Bruins hockey right here on your New England Sports Network.
This is Nesson, your New England Sports Network.
It's a great opportunity in front. There it is. There's right there. The puck is knocked down. That's the call. Right there. The puck knocked down. An excellent call by referee Fitzgerald. Madigan, you could see, knocked the puck down with his hand. The next player to touch it was a Providence player. That's a hand pass, just as if you passed it with your hand along the ice. Excellent call by the official. Right there. That was tough to pick up, too.
An excellent goaltending again by Matt Del Judas. Both goalies have played outstanding hockey here in the first period.
Referee Fitzy gave an unusual hand pass call. It's sort of like a bounce of the ball kind of call, but from the play you can see exactly what he was saying.
Straub clears it down to the Providence end. Down to 5 minutes left in the scoreless first period. Plenty of action in the first of two games this weekend between Maine and Providence. As the hockey squad jockeying for position.
Well, the fans here in Orono are going to have a treat this weekend. These are two of the best teams in the country, and they've played some barn burners. Martin Robitaille scored a goal double overtime last year to win the NCAA quarterfinal game here, and just with three great hockey games between Providence and Maine.
Kramer fell down as he tried to move in. Lalonde played it off to Olsen. He has help coming. This is Pellerin trying to walk through. Roy denied by Merton. Oh, another great save on Pellerin. Merton made two in a row. First Roy, then Pellerin. Two of the best goal scorers in the country. And Merton and Del Judas continue to match each other save for save.
While in Pellerin and Roy, you have the two all-time record holders at Maine in freshman goal scoring. Here's Pellerin right down the chute. Roy on the right-hand side. Defense converges on Pellerin. Dangerous with Roy out there. Now Pellerin comes in. He's going to just try to chip this puck in. Providence is trying to clear it. Roberson trying to move it out. And Merton, there's a loose puck, and Merton just gets over there to smother it. He didn't know he had it. Looked back into the net for it.
Off the face-off, Providence skated it out. Now Matthijs' shot kicked out by Del Judas. No score, but not for a lack of great chances for both sides. Olsen along the boards, upended by Flaherty. Roy, and that went off the blocker of Merton. Olsen centers one. Roy shot it wide. Merton couldn't cover the free puck. And from a tough angle, Pellerin missed the net. Burke up from the point, but the hustling Flaherty went sprawling to poke it out. Outstanding goaltending.
Providence going to have to do something with this line of Olsen, Pellerin, and Roy, because they've been right at the doorstep in every series they've been out on the ice. That time, Roy, again, a great wrist shooter. Very seldom see him wind up with a slap shot. That's why he has 29 goals. He snaps it off quickly.
Bennett Tried to throw it in front. Carney blocked it. Goodrow back of the net. Centers one. Boback battling Belfay. Goodrow in the corner. Wrapped up by Burke. He left it for Boback. Back at the line. Hyber. Wrist shot. Gloved by Del Judas. 3:02 left in a scoreless first period, and we'll be right back.
Every week, Barron's arrives to an unusual reception. Readers plow into it in search of undiscovered values, emerging stocks, and market insights. A fresh issue of Barron's doesn't stay fresh long. And that's the beauty of it. Subscribe now to Barron's and get 13 weeks for only $28 with a money-back guarantee. Call toll-free 800-255-5000. That's 800-255-5000.
New England, come watch the Blazers heat up the night. Coors Light and Major Indoor Lacrosse present the Blazing Seaforts versus the new Pittsburgh Bulls. Saturday night, February 10th at the Central. Major Indoor Lacrosse. See it all. Full-out contact. Razor's edge, excitement. There's never been a team as wild as this one. Be a part of the home field advantage as Coors Light presents the Blazers and the Bulls. The sport of the future. Major Indoor Lacrosse. Be there, because no game hits harder than this.
Sean McDonough with Bob Norton back at Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine. No score with 3:02 left in the first period.
One of the best periods of hockey we've had this year, Sean. You expected the leagues to get together.
Belfay's pass a little bit too far ahead of Salfi. It was thrown back in by Hyber. Now Belfay didn't connect with Barkley. And Goodrow threw it in. Straub off for Carney. Interception by Goodrow. Rolling puck out of the glove of Del Judas. Boback is in the slot, but he's got a shot on net. Now Boback has some room. Boback walks in, saved Del Judas. And the rebound glanced off Goodrow and was taken back in the net by Straub. Barkley off to Salfi. Barkley goes down. Goodrow, the Providence player there. Now it's Boback. Could get through Carney, and Salfi cleared it out. Larry Rooney at center ice. He had trouble with the return pass from Robeson. Down he comes flying into forecheck. Robeson off the glass, taken off the boards by the glove of Wild Goose. Off the stick of Obey, it's Downey sending it back in. Minute 55 left in the first period, no score. Madigan had it deflect to Obey. Whitmire kept it into line. Wild Goose played it back, and it skated out by Obey. Obey dumps it off. Quick shot wide from Madigan. Rebound. Shot wide by Wild Goose. That came off the backboard. Lively fashion. Lalonde. And that's offside. Whitmire in ahead. No score. 1:31 left in the first period.
It'll be interesting to see over the course of the game if Providence does anything to try to match up Bennett, Boback, and Goodrow with the second line for Maine, which has been causing them so many problems. Pellerin, Olsen, and Roy. It just seems as if Mike McShane is going to have to do something to handle Olsen, Pellerin, and Roy, because every time they've been out there, it's been real trouble. Providence has a good opportunity here as Boback just can't get the stick on that backhand. A nice feed out from Bennett. Looks as if one of the strata, here's another shot coming in. This is again number 15, Boback. Deflects that one wide, deflected wide by Del Judas. One of the things that Maine is doing is popping Bennett. They're not missing many chances to check him, and I think that's one of the strategies is you can't let Bennett physically dominate a game. You have to take him on body to body. That's his style of game, and you can't let him initiate that kind of play with your forwards. You got to take him on early on, and that's what they're doing.
And Maine probably expects that Bennett might understandably be a bit tentative in his first game back after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery.
Yeah, and another thing that Maine has that some of the other hockey East don't have in as much quality, they have big defense. Their defense around the, almost all through the six guys, 6'1", 6'2", 205, 210 pounds. Physically, they match up pretty well with Bennett, and some of the other teams don't.
Free puck, it's Jim Burke, the senior from Newton. Badgered all the way by Gooden. Burke still with it. Behind the net, Robitaille with a bouncing puck. He's shoved into the boards by Sarowick. Tomerlin knocked down by Kane. And a pile of players. Finally, the puck comes free. Sean Kane with help from Gooden. Gooden was spilled by Montgomery. Along the far boards, Becker. Off to Sorowick, and Cowan takes it from line. This pass didn't click with Gooden. Jim Burke to Robitaille. He couldn't get the pass through Cowan. Gooden slides it in, and we're down to 30 seconds left in a scoreless first period. Murphy around to Roy. Ahead for Pellerin. He takes a check from Cowan. Burke sent it high in the air, and Sondercook took it down. 17 seconds left in the period. Hyber. Off to Sondercook and back for Hyber, the freshman from Rochester, Minnesota. 9 seconds left. Murphy clubbed it down. Flaherty shoots it in. And these two teams will skate off after a scoreless first period. They'll pay proper respect to their goaltenders as Matt Merton of Providence and Matt Del Judas of Maine gave us the finest period of goaltending we've seen in a long, long time.
And I think that's one of the finest periods of hockey we've seen in a while. Up and down action, two quality teams playing it nose to nose here at Alpine Arena in Maine.
No score after one, and we'll return with our intermission activities right after this.
Swing into the 90s with the Boston Red Sox. Tickets for the 1990 season are available at the Red Sox Fenway Park ticket office located on Yawkey Way. To charge tickets to your credit card, phone 267-1700. For groups of 40 or more, call the group sales office at 262-1915.
You're gonna reach for it today. You're in the pursuit of excellence, and nothing's gonna stand in your way. It's a challenge to your mind, calling to your heart. You know you'll never be the same. A tradition of excellence, the University of Maine. You and you again. This is your hour, you can feel the black bear power calling you on to be the best you can be. You man, this is your hour. You man, you'll never be the same. A tradition of excellence, the University of Maine. The University of Maine.
We're back at Alpine Arena in Orono, Maine. No score after a very entertaining first period of play tonight. Very important game for both sides. Very important weekend as these two teams will play twice over 2 nights in Orono. And before tonight's game, Bob Norton had a chance to talk with Providence coach Mike McShane.
Thanks, Sean. Michael, we're heading down toward the playoffs right around the corner. This coming up to Maine. You played very well here last year in the playoffs. We're in the middle of the game as we do this interview, but starting out, getting ready for the game, what are you thinking?
Well, I think that this weekend is a very important weekend considering, both Maine and ourselves are fighting for home ice spots, and BU won last night, so it's really making it awfully tight. And I think we just have to take one game at a time and not worry about the end so much as we did last year. This year we're in pretty good position right now, and if we can continue to play consistently good to the finish, I think we'll be in good shape.
When you come into this rink, very difficult place to play. Reminds you, I'm sure, of the old UNH days when people came into Snively. The place is packed. We see them here before the game lined up around for their standing room positions early. Do you tell the kids anything coming into the rink? Is there anything you want them to concentrate on?
No, fortunately this year we've played under some great crowds, not only in our own building up here and a lot of other rinks, so I think they're used to it. A couple of years ago when Hockey East wasn't drawing as well, I think you'd come up here maybe getting a little intimidated by the crowd, and the effect of it did, maybe the freshmen felt it early on the game. Now I think most of our kids are used to it. We've been up here enough the last couple of years. We've been here 3 years in a row for the playoffs, and I think we're used to it, and we kind of like it.
When you talk about the crowds, how do you explain the much, much better attendance all over Hockey East?
I think it's the caliber of play. I think all the coaches are doing a good job recruiting, and all the teams have super players, and the goaltending has been excellent this year, so I think the scores have been pretty low, and and it's made for exciting hockey, and I think that's the reason why it's drawing so well.
Rick Bennett back tonight. You know, if that happened 10 years ago or 15 years ago when you were playing, he might have been out the rest of the season. Tremendous the medical marvels today coming back from arthroscopic surgery.
It's amazing, you know, and the doc told him he only had a little bit of cartilage damage, and he said, well, we'll look at him tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be skating in a couple of days. I said, you sure about skating in a couple of days? Hey, maybe he'll skate the next day. And sure enough, knowing Rick, he was up at 6 o'clock the next day. That's the only time we had ice, and he was out there skating with the trainer. So he's made a good recovery. We were conservative last weekend playing Lowell and Merrimack. We said, hey, we're going to sit him down. He's not going to play. He wanted to play. I brought him up here this weekend, and there's no way we're going to hold him back.
You've cut down your penalties this year remarkably. You've gone to be a candidate for the Team Lady Bing Award. Talking to Bennett, he said you're calling penalties in practice, and it's made a big difference.
Well, we've been doing that for a couple of years, and it's paying off now. I think the stronger your team gets, the more confidence it gets on the offense, and you don't have to be holding and hooking. Usually the weaker teams take the bad penalties, and a couple of years ago we weren't a very strong team, and now we're a much better team. So I think we're more disciplined, and as a result, the kids are handling the puck more, and they're not on the defense.
Well, you certainly are one of the stronger teams, and as Sean said the other night, Mike, you've done a great job, and you're certainly one of the top candidates. I know you're going to be embarrassed when I say it for the Coach of the Year award, and just a tremendous coaching job all season long with these kids.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Mike McShane, the outstanding coach of Providence College. We're going to be right back.
Some investment publications are at home on coffee tables. Barron's is destined for desks. While some publications serve as ornaments, Barron's serves as a tool. And while some barely get read, Barron's gets ruthlessly exploited by readers in search of insightful stock picks, undiscovered values, new offerings, and a wealth of other information you won't find anywhere else. So while some investment publications help furnish your home, Barron's helps furnish your portfolio. And that makes it very beautiful indeed. Subscribe now to Barron's and get 13 weeks for only $28 with a money-back guarantee. Call toll-free 800-255-5000. That's 800-255-5000.
Sean McDonough with Bob Norton back at Alfonda Arena in Orono, Maine. No score at the end of one period. Providence had 13 shots on goal in period one, while Maine had 9. Both sides had plenty of good opportunities amongst those 22 shots combined. Here's Maine on the rush, and Roy will wind up with a great chance.
Pellerin just tap dances right through Roberson and Rooney. They converge, and Roy gets the puck on the right side. Now watch what happens. Merton makes a great stop on Roy. The puck is going to be loose there. Pellerin's going to direct it toward the net. Puck's loose right in there. Merton reaches out trying to freeze it. Can't get it, but he smothers that shot by Pellerin. They dodged one there because Roberson and Rooney converging on Roy gave them all sorts of trouble. Sorowick from the point. Now, this is what is called a hand pass. Looks a little different from this angle. Watch, there's Madigan. The puck is deflected up high. Watch that puck. Madigan reaches up, and there's the hand pass call. But it looks from that angle as if the puck is behind Madigan.
Might have been hit by the high stick of Wildgoose.
Yeah, might have been hit by the high stick. That's it. What a stop that was.
It was... See, you saw Jim Fitzgerald with his hand extended. That's why we thought he was ruling it a hand pass. It wasn't a very clear signal, but it was not obviously a hand pass as it looked to be originally, but it might have been hit by the high stick of Lyle Wildgoose. First period statistics. Providence attempted more shots and also had more of them on net. But the most important stat of all, at the bottom, no score.
Well, we have some friends out in Newton. I'd like to say hello to the Kinchlers, Fred and Martha Kinchler, who are regular watchers of Nesson in Newton and enjoy the broadcast and let us know that they've enjoyed them. So, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Kinchler.
Did you mean you got a fan letter?
Yes, I did.
Well, I'm sure the next time I visit your house, it'll be prominently displayed in the living room. We'll be back for second period action right after this.
Tennis action is coming your way on Nesson. The best college players from around the country come together to see who is number one. It's the men's and women's finals of the National Collegiate Tennis Classic from the Shadow Mountain Resort in Palm Desert, California, Tuesday at 10:30, right here on your New England Sports Network.
The signs of change are in the air with winter on the way. It's time for fans to start thinking about the most exciting game in town, Hockey East. The University of Maine, University of New Hampshire, Merrimack College, Lowell University, Northeastern University, Boston College, Boston University, and Providence College. 8 New England schools dedicated to academic and athletic excellence. Contact your local Hockey East school for ticket information.
No score, and we're just moments away from the start of the second period. Only one penalty in that first period as well, and that one against Jeff Sorowick of Providence. A very important game here tonight. As we mentioned at the outset, the top 6 teams in Hockey East separated by 6 points. BC on top, 2 points ahead of BU. The Terriers are playing very well lately. Then it's Providence third, Northeastern just a point behind, and Maine just a point behind Northeastern, New Hampshire just a point behind Maine. And several of the teams trailing Boston College, including these two, have games in hand on the front-running Eagles. Both the Friars and Black Bears have played 2 fewer Hockey East games.
Hey, Sean, what the Ossipee, Effingham, Freedom, Porter, Parson Field, Kezar Falls, Hiram, Cornish, Leamington, Standish, North Windham, and Gray have in common?
They're all in New Hampshire.
Oh, those are all towns that I came through today to get here. I had a tour of Southern Maine. Right out of Yankee Magazine.
Some of those I know are in New Hampshire.
Right out of Yankee Magazine.
And we trust that you had a pleasant trip.
That's pretty right.
Yes, it is. Icing the call. We're 22 seconds into the second period. I enjoyed listening to your chat with Mike McShane between periods.
Wakefield, Massachusetts played his college hockey at UNH, where I had the distinct pleasure of coaching him for a couple of years. He was a feisty, fiery player, tough guy, real hard-nosed winger, and played with Dick Umili, the associate head coach at UNH, and some of the beginnings of the great teams UNH had in the 70s with Louis Fergon and Guy Smith and Billy Monroe and some of those fine players. Mike was a good one.
Goal! Claudio Scriven right off the face-off. He drove it from the point, might have hit something en route, and Maine leads 1-0.
Now, in-zone face-off, direct draw right back to Scriven. Look at the pick on the left side. Maine does a great job of interfering. Look at that inside pick. No one can get outside to cover the point, and Scriven through traffic. Now, you know, you can call that interference, but what happened is they just ran a great pick on the left side. Looks like Southby on that left side just picked the forward responsible for coming out to cover Scriven, and he had a wide open shot.
Claudio Scriven, the senior from Burnaby, British Columbia, with his 4th goal of the year at 26 seconds of the second period. So after a sensational first period by both goaltenders, Burton beaten by the blast from the point.
Yeah, that was Rouard on the pick, not Southby. I thought it was 28, not 26, but great. One of those little things that a guy like Rouard does, interfered with the man responsible for the point, never got out there.
And it was deflected en route as they've given the goal to Brian Belfay. He apparently tipped it on the way for his 9th goal of the year. Scriven and Bartley assisting. Belfay his 9th from Scriven and Bartley at 26 seconds of the second period. And a goal by the senior from Framingham, Massachusetts, has Maine ahead 1-0. Down to 18:25 left of the second period now. It appeared to be deflected. And in fact, it was Belfay's goal from Scriven and Bartley. Straub up the boards. Montgomery had his stick lifted by Saundercook. Cowan a drive. He was looking for a zip but didn't get one. Tomberlin one-timed it off to Carney. His pass intercepted by Becker. Then Becker fell down. Robitaille pushed it into the corner. Cowan with Tomberlin. Robitaille also there for Maine. It's squirted past Robitaille to Gooden, and he clears.
We have a chance to see that goal again, Sean. I'll show you that pick from the left wing side. You know, that was Selfie. That was the Selfie line. He just made a great pick there, and it was key to the goal, even though he didn't get an assist.
Unfortunately, the Northport did not make the trip to Orono. Tepper shoved into the boards by Kane. The free puck wound up on the stick of Gooden. Cowan had Burke pinch in from the point. And then Becker knocked down Downey from behind away from the play. Whitmire collided along the near boards with Sarowick. In the corner, it's Downey circling the net and trying to center. Gooden tipped it. Burke had it hop over the stick of Downey in the corner. Tepper to Whitmire. Cowan closed in, took the puck away, and he was slammed into the boards by Tepper. Whitmire rolls it in. Free puck after the save by Merton, and Merton whipped around. Apparently, he didn't like the bump he received from Tepper. A sturdy check into Kane along the near boards, and the puck wound up in the seats. 1-0 Maine, and we'll be back right after this.
Watch the job the wings do here. Watch Selfie cut Bennett off. He just pinches Bennett right to the inside. Nobody gets off. Total interference on the inside by Maine's forwards prevents any coverage on the point on that scrum and shot. I don't know how Belfay got the goal.
No, I don't
Belfay's
either.
way over on the other side. That can't be a Belfay goal. That looks like it's probably a Barkley goal.
Or maybe even a Providence stick, but it was not Belfay.
Not Belfay. Well, Belfay's way over the right side. No chance to get that one. He wasn't within 15 feet of that tip. That's what happens on in-zone faceoffs. Boy, you get picked like that, you're in trouble.
Pellerin golfed it out. Back after it, Rooney. Two forecheckers swooping in. Roy and Olsen. And Roy a shot up around the head from Merton that did not go undetected by the Maine partisans. Scremin with clarity on his tail. Olsen spun back into his own zone. Pellerin couldn't handle the flip, and it's Olsen again, and that's ruled a hand pass. Alert call by Jim Fitzgerald. Pellerin didn't glove it back into his own zone.
Before this is all over, that may end up being Scremin's goal all over again.
Wisconsin 3, Michigan Tech 1 in the fourth period of play.
Certainly didn't look like Belfay. That replay angle.
Tough to score a goal from the right corner of the faceoff circle. This copyrighted program is brought to you under paid cable TV rights granted by the Hockey East Association solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or the other use of the counsel and script of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Hockey East Association is prohibited.
And our crew tonight being led by Rose Marakian. Directing the telecast, ably assisted as always by the General Pat Cavanaugh.
He'd get promoted. Last time I knew he was a private first class.
He's the General.
The General.
Carney weaving through traffic, tried to feed Salfi and went past him. And Salfi went after it at the bottom of the circle and lost the puck to Sondercook. Bo back. Nicely ahead to Gaudreau. 1-0 Maine with 15:25 left of the second period. Bennett checked into the backboards by Barkley. The three puck squirts to Straub ahead for Salfi. And Salfi has missed some time lately due to injury. He sent it in back of the net, and then he heads off as Maine makes a line change. Madigan cleared it out.
Salfi's dad was a fine coach at the University of Pennsylvania. That RPI, and Burke just hit the light. Has to be about 40 feet over the glass.
Pretty good aim. Didn't appear to break the light. Just bounced it around a bit, and the puck came straight down. Therefore, the whistle stopping the play, and the face-off back at center ice.
There's the score. Maine 1, Providence nothing. Going to go by Brian Belfay. Has to be the furthest away from the puck that a fellow ever has been, and credited with a goal.
Heroic cleared it out to center ice. It's picked up by Obey. He's 1-on-2, but has help coming. Tried to pass it off for Kane. It was deflected. And back in the corner, Burke lost it. Madigan out in front. Obey was robbed by Del Judas. He hasn't been very busy here in the first 5+ minutes of the second period, but he's still sharp. Heroic had to wait for Madigan to clear. He banked it in, then continued on after. It's tied up by Murphy. Wild Goose never did get it through to the net as it was blocked out in front. Now Obey back to the cage for Madigan. He was able to shed Murphy. Out in front! Obey tipped it, and Del Judas came sprawling out as the puck went wide. Tomberlin gave it back to Madigan. Wild Goose shot it in. And the first man there is Dan Murphy, the freshman defenseman from Hamden, Connecticut. His pass glanced off Becker. Cowan checked Robitaille. Becker to Gooden. He missed the net. It's free behind the net. Murphy had the wrap on Becker. Gooden tied up by Burke. It's back with Becker and Murphy. Now it's Cowan, and Robitaille's right there. Maine defenders all over the Providence forwards. Cowan finally managed to move it in front, and Robitaille took it away. Tomberlin content to ice the puck and get the much-needed whistle. Maine leads 1-0, and we'll return to Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine, right after this.
Winter's beautiful. She's just not real friendly sometimes. The days get shorter, the cold makes things kind of brittle, and the boys, well, they just get uglier. But come nightfall, when the fire gets hot, you still get thirsty. Bush. Winter's not so bad.
Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
Del Judas cuts this angle off beautifully. Mario Obey, look at his 10th goal of the season, comes rolling down the slot. Del Judas, right spot, right time, as Obey fires it right at him, and Del Judas kicks it to the corner.
Maine has excelled in protecting the lead this year. Maine's season record, 21-7-2. Fourth straight 20-win season for the University of Maine, and they're trying to get back to the Final Four. The NCAA tournament for the third straight year. Flaherty stopped out in front. Free puck, and the net is loose as Widmeyer and Kramer combined to knock the net off its moorings, and Del Judas another big stop.
Well, Flaherty's just waiting there for that puck to come loose. Watch Flaherty, sits there, waits. Finally, the puck comes loose. He rolls right to the front. Del Judas gets the stick down between the pads. Flaherty going for the 5-hole. Now the puck goes off the net as Kramer gets knocked into it by Steve Widmeyer, the 6'2", 205. Maine's very big. That line, Downey, Tepper, and Widmeyer. 6 foot 185 Downey, 6'4", 215 Tepper, and 6'2", 205 Widmeyer.
It's 1-0 Maine, 13-15. Remain to be played in the second period.
Maine's got a few little guys, but boy, they have some size on this hockey team.
In the corner, Mattice. He falls down. Carney there. Now it's Straub to Widmeyer. He banks it out. Larry Rooney shoots it back in from the red line. And it's Keith Carney, sophomore from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. 25 assists this year for Keith Carney, and he missed some action while playing for the U.S. junior national team in Helsinki, Finland. Tepper appeared to step on the puck, and that's why he went down. Straub looking for the tip, free puck, and Tepper and Widmeyer were both eyeing an empty net. Neither one of them could direct a shot on goal. Widmeyer sent it back of the net. It bounced past Tepper, picked up in the corner by Downey. Rooney closes in, as did Matthijs. Widmeyer stopped by Robeson as he tried to walk in front. And Andy Matthijs leads the Friars to center. Paul Flaherty off to Rooney, and Bob Kramer was offside. 12:18 remaining in the second period. Maine leads 1-0. While we have a moment, I want to congratulate you. I know you are being honored by your alma mater, Rutgers University. My spies in New Jersey told me that you are being recognized for your loyal service to that fine institution over the years. As we look at this great chance, as Widmeyer and Tepper both couldn't get the bouncing puck under control.
Well, thanks, Sean. It's a mistake on the part of the Alumni Association, but nonetheless, nice to be recognized as a loyal son of a great institution.
Who won the Rutgers-Syracuse basketball game?
Sean, let's not...
Or the Rutgers-Syracuse football
The fact that you've become an athletic factory and not an academic institution of the highest quality.
Here's Bobak circling the net. Now Saundercook had it poked away by Salfi. Free puck, but Bobak still had the head of steam up. Want all Syracuse alums to send their mail to Bob Norton, care of Nesson. I can't believe that you would say that about such a prestigious academic school as Syracuse University. Salfi sends it in. And Kane was dumped by Belfay as he came to the forecheck. I think it's just wonderful that a university could excel academically and athletically as Syracuse has.
Sean, I'm going to get ill in a minute. You got to stop all that.
Here comes Burke with Roy heading for the net. Burke score! Think they'll give this one to Belfay?
I don't know how they can do it. I think Burke, beautiful play right here as he uses the other man beautifully here on the coming down the left side as a right shot. He has a tremendous advantage here, works through the middle. Watch him down the left side, right shot. Look, he's using the other man, using. Burton concentrating on the shooter. He just beats him straight out. He has a lot of net to shoot at when he comes down that right side, and he just catches it about a foot inside the far post.
Fifth of the year for the senior defenseman from Newton, Jim Burke. Talking with assistant coach Bruce Crowder from the University of Maine before the game, he talked about the solid play of Burke all season long. Now here's Roy, leading goal scorer in the league, and he was denied by Burke. Now a centering pass, deflects to Pellerin, and he shot it wide. Rooney intend to clear it out and hit somebody along the main bench. And Olsen, the assists on the goal by Jim Burke, is fifth at 8:52, and it's 2-0 Maine.
I just see him come down. He's using everybody over on that other side. You had a double team on one side on Roy, nobody over on the other side to take Burke. They just got themselves out of position, did Providence in that end. No one came over to play Burke, and they had 3-on-2 away from the puck.
Hyber tanks it in. Straub, first man there for the University of Maine. Now Keith Carney. Let it knocked down by Hyber. He shot it back in. Straub with Cowan swooping in the forecheck. Carney played it ahead to Robitaille. Indirect pass was picked off by Hyber. And it's Straub again. To Carney. We're halfway through the hockey game. 10 minutes left in the second period. And Maine has taken a 2-0 lead on goals by Belfay and Burke here in the second period. Becker Wrapped up by Robitaille. Becker kicked the puck. It went to Straub of Maine. Ivert tried to pinch in from the point to keep it in. He could not. Carney lost it to Gooden. He turned it back over to Montgomery with Tomberlin heading for the net. Black Bears in the midst of a line change. Montgomery wisely just sends it in deep. David Gooden with 9:27 left in the second period. He hit the ice to avoid a check. Icing waved off as a couple of Friars had a chance to play the puck. And it's Gooden again for Cowan. Cowan upended by Stremmen. Friars had to be careful. They had all kinds of players going on and off the ice in front of their bench. And the puck was right in front of the bench as well. Sorowick at center ice. Shoots it in. 2-0 Maine. Lalonde off for Stremmen. Up the boards. Flaherty stepped in front of Downey. Bouncing puck out in front. Hacked away from Matthijs by Lalonde. Here's Widmeyer ahead to Downey. 4-on-3 as the Black Bears move into the zone. And Sorowick came away with the puck. He one-hands it ahead to Matthijs. Race for the puck now. Flaherty has Kramer heading for the front of the net. Paul Flaherty walks in and shot it over the net as he was being badgered from behind. Sean Kane threw it in front. Christian Lalonde picked it off. Just one penalty in this hockey game. That was in the first period against Jeff Sorowick of Providence for interference. Maine did not capitalize. I think Mike McShane was looking for a call as Flaherty walked in and he was being badgered from behind. Burke lost it at center ice, but Murphy picks it up for Maine and he shoots it in. The Black Bears lead 2-0, and we're down to 8 minutes left in the second period. Burton went down as he bumped up against Belfay. Sean Kane, sophomore from Holyoke, Mass. He was also a member of that U.S. junior national team that played in Helsinki back in December and early January. Barkley up the boards, up from the point. Robeson, Southby poked it to the point but not out. Bobak kept it in. Along the far boards, Murphy. Now Barkley lost it to Bennett. Burke moved in on Bennett. Barkley's there. His pass hit a skate and wound up back of the net. Dan Murphy.
They continue to play very physically with Bennett, John, just not giving him any room at all to move.
Gaudreau the steal. Here's a penalty as Murphy took down Gaudreau. Bobak with the puck. And as it's touched by Murphy, the whistle blows. Robeson wound up in the crease with Del Judas. Holding the call, Dan Murphy heads off. And Providence goes to the power play for the first time, trailing 2-0.
Cooper. Introducing the most advanced hockey protection ever with the new Cooper Super Pro line. The secret is in Cooper's Armor Foam protection system and advanced air suspension technology.
He's going to get the call all the time as he picks up the holding call. So far in this game, as we see Dan Murphy, Maine's done an excellent job on the Bobak-Bennett-Gaudreau line. Only Northeastern has shut them out this year. They've shut them out twice. They've scored 47 of 51 games since being put together in December of '88. But no points on the board tonight for Providence or that line.
Claudio Stremmen stand as he tried to wind up and drive it out. Then he got it back as Matthijs went down. And Sean Kane has to retreat to the neutral zone. Kane and Sorowick are the point men. This is Robitaille with a shorthand bid. And Kane got back. Robitaille decided to kill time. And it's minute 30 now, remaining on the Providence power play. 2-0 Maine, 6:40 left in the second period as Sorowick shoots it in. The Wild Goose is up front of the power play with Matthijs and Obey. Wild Goose tried to center. He was knocked down. Carney off the glass and wound up in the seats.
Providence 28 of 101 on power play this season. 28% effectiveness. Maine has an excellent shorthand. They've only given up 27 goals in 159 shorthands. And furthermore, Sean, they have 9 shorthanded goals. Roy, 7 game winners also. He has 3 shorthand goals. Montgomery 1, Kelleran 1, Perron, who's not in the lineup, injured. He has 2. Burke 1 and Straub 1. So they're extremely dangerous in shorthand situations.
15 left on the penalty to Dan Murphy. 6:27 left in the second period. Maine leads 2-0. Bobak now centering the power play with Cowan and Becker. Gaudreau and Rooney, the point men, 4 forwards out for Mike McShane. And the puck cleared out by Pellerin. Gaudreau got the stick into Pellerin, and this sellout crowd wanted a hooking call. Apparently Jim Fitzgerald thought it was a dive. It did appear that Gaudreau had the stick into the midsection of Pellerin. Straub up the boards, kept in by Gaudreau. 50 seconds left of the power play. Back at the line, Rooney was pressured by Roy, and Straub cleared it out. Gaudreau to Cowan, and the play offside. Cowan rushed up against Pellerin, and the crowd wanted a penalty for a hit after the whistle.
Cowan's telling linesman Jones that he had his skates back on the ice and that should not have been an offside call, and Jones is saying, no, you didn't. You were a little bit late getting back out of the zone. This was a no call. Gaudreau.
Pellerin might have hurt his cause by giving it a little extra
look too much,
emphasis.
too theatrical, yeah.
It appeared to be a hook, but once he gave it the Greg Louganis treatment.
We didn't see referee Fitzgerald do that little swan dive sign that the referees sometimes give you a little dive call.
Down to 33 seconds now left in the Providence power play. A power play that has been unable to get in gear at this point. Sean Kane shoots it in. And golfed out by Christian Lalonde. Sorowick never saw it as it sailed over his head all the way down to the other end of the rink. Mert dangerously passed it ahead right by Roy, and that's a hand pass, so the faceoff will come in the Providence zone, and this power play has just 12 seconds remaining.
One of the problems that Providence had on this power play was with 5:24 remaining in the second period, down 2-0. Their first line, their top line, scoring line, was the last shift and the shift on which the penalty was called, so they weren't able to get them out there right away. You know, you think back, you think, you know, why maybe not call a power play, call a timeout rather, make sure you get your top line out there in this situation because you're down 2-0 and time's a wasting. Mike Milbury do that a number of times this year, you know. Call that timeout early in the game when you need it rather than wait until the end of the game and maybe not even get to use it.
Saw the graphic. Maine is back at full strength. As Murphy is out of the box, we're down to 5 minutes left in the second period. Maine with a 2-0 lead. Stremin a solid check on Matisse. Sorowick shoots it in. And Christian Lalonde is back to play. Stremin drives it to center ice. Hyber on it for Providence. He shot it back in. Bennett with some room along the far boards. Shot it high and wide. Hyber tried to keep it into the point, and he did. Battled Pomerlin and won the puck. Bennett had it go past him to Bobak. He sheds the check of Stremin. Has Gaudreau open to the corner. Out in front. Bennett wrapped up nicely by Lalonde. Maine has done a great job in its own zone tonight of tying up Providence players out in front of the net, and Bennett
got hurt.
Doubled over as he heads off. Hyber quickly to the line to Bobak. Bobak out in front. Wild Goose all alone. Great glove save by Del Judas. Left in the second period. It's still 2-0 Maine.
Everybody scores big by reading College Hockey Magazine, America's only magazine devoted exclusively to the collegiate game. Don't miss out. Subscribe today. 12 issues, only $24. Call 508-531-4311 now.
Goes right in the slot, shoots it toward the glove. Mistake there as Del Judas makes a nifty stop, controls that rebound, gets the face-off to his left. Boy, and that gets the Maine crowd really into this thing. 2-0 Maine. 4 minutes left in the second period, and we've got a good hockey game.
Well, Mike McShane paid tribute to Del Judas before the game. He knew it would be tough tonight. He has the utmost respect for Del Judas. Said he's arguably the best goaltender in the league. He certainly has proven that tonight. Roy trying to sweep in. Rooney broke it up. Looked like a hand pass to Wild Goose, and then down went Olsen. Hand pass was called.
Linesman called it.
can't hear the whistles in here tonight with the 4,000 plus jammed into every nook and cranny of Alfond Arena.
Not much question, it's a hand pass.
It looked like a clean hit as well.
Yep.
It sent Olsen sprawling.
I'm very interested to watch Bennett on his next shift out, Sean. He did take a nick on that knee on the last series, and the coaches have to make a decision as to whether it's worth it to continue playing him up here in this situation. They still got plenty of the season left to go, and Bennett a key factor in the game. You have to add up the benefits of playing him when he may not be 100% versus getting him out of there. And sometimes the kids want to play, and it might be best to say, "Now sit down. We need you to get much longer season left to go with the playoffs." And it'd be very interesting to see Bennett out here in the next shift and see how he skates.
So much at stake at this time of the year for these two teams. First place in hockey still very much up for grabs among 6 teams. They're fighting for home ice in the playoffs. They're also trying to line themselves up for NCAA tournament bids. Every game becomes crucial. Obviously, Rick Bennett wants to be out there tonight. He did hobble off at the end of the last shift, and that will be a penalty. Sean Kane sent Roy flying into the net. And now Obey wants a piece of Pellerin. Kane and Burke separated, but it's Obey who's really upset with Pellerin. He went after Pellerin after the whistle. Sean Kane wanted to come into the near penalty box, but the attendant told him, "You're in the wrong box."
Boy, he gives Roy a high stick. That was called interference, but it easily could have been called high sticking or cross-checking as Kane gave Roy a rep. There it is again from another angle. Roy goes into the net, and Kane goes into the box. Not the box he chose to go into, but he goes into the penalty box anyway, down there with the penalty timekeeper in an argument.
That was interesting. He was pointing out that the penalty box he wanted to go into is the one that's across from his bench, but the one they sent him to is across from the main bench, and the attendant said, "I don't care, this is the wrong penalty box," and he sent Sean Kane to the box he is currently occupying for interference at 16:51. Second power play here for Maine. They're 0 for 1 with the man advantage. They lead 2-0 as we approach 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Maine coach Sean Walsh will be our guest of the second intermission.
This could be the ball game right here with a 2-goal lead and power play. They get one here, Providence is in real deep trouble.
Particularly with the way Del Judas has played tonight. Carney passed up the shot. Montgomery lets it fly. Free puck. And it was skated off by Cowan, but not cleared. Good work again by Merton. Straub to Carney. Straub and Carney are the point men, with Roy, Montgomery, and Downey up front. Cowan and Kramer, Sondercook, and Sorowick killing the penalty, which has 1:14 remaining. Centering pass, and Montgomery couldn't one time it into the net. He had plenty of open net to shoot at. If he had been able to redirect it toward the goal. Constant pressure by Maine. Downey had his shot blocked by Sorowick. Sorowick gave Roy a shove. Downey wound up with the puck. 55 seconds left in the Maine power play. 2 minutes left in the second period. Maine leads 2-0. Downey along the boards now. Montgomery back for Downey. He tried to throw it in front. Cowan went sprawling and got a piece of the pass. Straub back at the point with 35 seconds left in the Maine power play. Puck free in the corner. Sorowick a nice job to poke it away from Roy. Carney kept it into the point. And Kramer closed in, and Kramer forced the puck out to the neutral zone. He tries to fall on it to get the face-off, and he does. With 20 seconds left in the man advantage for Maine. 1:29 remaining in the second period. Maine 2 and Providence nothing.
That was a nice play by Kramer, because even before he fell on it, what he did, Sean, by moving the puck along the boards with his skates, he allowed Providence to get a line change, a shorthand group change, which was really important, even if he wasn't able to force the whistle and the face-off at center ice. So that was a nice job by Kramer to buy a little time. Not too much time left on this Maine penalty, as Maine sort of diddled the puck around on the outside of the power play, and Nev was able to get very much in the way of shot off or work it to the inside.
Stremin ahead of Pellerin. He has Olsen wide open out in front, and the pass was blocked by Robeson. Robeson, another player who's steady every night, doesn't get much attention for it, but he made a big play. That pass was through to Olsen. He was in alone. Just 1 second now left on the penalty to Sean Kane, and a minute 10 left in the second period. 2-0 Maine.
That was a classic 2-on-1 situation where Robeson was on the shooter, and the pass was over. Wide open on the left side was Pellerin. Just couldn't get the pass through as Robeson went down and blocked the centering pass.
Boback and Olsen will take the draw. As soon as they drop the puck, Sean Kane will come sprinting out of the penalty box. And both sides at full strength. Olsen centered it. And hit the back of Steve Tepper, it appeared, and fell right in front of Merton, who covered it. 1:04 left in the period.
Steve Tepper originally came to Maine as a football player, 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Westboro, Massachusetts. 8 goals on the season, and very strong in front of the net. He plants himself in front of the net, and difficult to move out of there.
I'm envious of Sean Walsh. He told me that this spring he's taking a trip to Ireland. Do some sightseeing, play some golf.
Have you been?
Never.
I've been. You ought to go.
I would love to go.
It's great. I was in Galway, among other places. I had no money, and I stayed with the cousins. I
can find
long lost prodigal son. I came to Galway, met my aunt, and I had no money. She first relative back. She thought all Americans were rich till she met me. I was young then.
Hyber up the boards to throw. Left the puck for Robeson. Long pass. Lalonde broke it up at center ice. Scremin flipped it into the zone, taken down by Robeson. He clears. Robitaille shoots it right back in. 37 seconds left in the second period. Maine leads 2-0. After great chances for both sides in the first period, Maine has enjoyed the edge of play here in the second period. Play is offside with 23 seconds left in the second period.
Once again, one of the key factors in the hockey game has been the ability of Maine to play excellent defense in their own zone. Del Judas to make the big saves when called upon, and Maine to play excellent defense against the Bennett, Boback, and Gaudreau line. Bennett nicked in the with about 6 or 7 minutes to go in this period. I don't think he's been out there since then.
Pat Madigan, 15 seconds left in the period. Madigan into the zone, tried to feed it to O'Bay. He was tied up by Barkley. 8 seconds left. As Barkley starts Maine back. That'll do it for the second period. And this sellout crowd rises in unison, acknowledging the continued standout play of Matt Del Judas in the Maine goal, and the fact that in that second period, goals by Belfay and Burke have given Maine a 2-0 lead after 2 periods. We'll come back. Bob Norton's guest is Maine coach Sean Walsh in our second intermission. You're watching Hockey East on Nesson. Sean McDonough with Bob Norton back at Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine. The homestanding Black Bears in the first game of this 2-game weekend series lead Providence after 2 periods by a score of 2-0. And before tonight's game, Bob Norton had a chance to speak with the head coach of the Black Bears, Sean Walsh.
Thanks very much, Sean. And another Sean, Sean Walsh, this has got to be one of the big games for your team as we start to get toward crunch time.
Geez, it seems like, Bob, every game in the last month for us has been a big game. You know, we had a tough road schedule early in the league with 9 of our first 11 on the road, so we got behind the 8 ball, and it's like if you want to stay in the pennant race, every game's a big game. And then even the non-league games we had were Minnesota, Bowling Green, Lake Superior. So it's kind of... it's how many times can you tell your kids it's a big game, but it certainly is. And hey, I think it's 2 quality hockey teams going head-to-head, and I think the winners will be the fans.
You know, talking about your team, your freshmen have made a tremendous impact on the club. Jean-Yves Roy, never mind one of the top freshmen in the league, probably one of the best players in the league, one of the top freshmen in the country. You've changed the recruiting concept, not necessarily at Maine, but in the league in terms of recruiting more mature freshmen. Roy is an older kid, 20 years old. A number of your freshmen are older. That's really helped you.
It really does. It gives, you know, those guys may not improve as much as another player might, depending on the individual. I've had some 20-year-olds when I was recruiting at Michigan State that really improved a lot over the 4 years, but they come in a little more mature. Now, at the same time, I think you look for quality. You know, if you're going to if there's a great 18-year-old out there, you're going to get them. The one thing about the 18-year-old for Maine is that usually that high school senior, if he's in an area like a Massachusetts, you know, Boston area or Minnesota, typically those guys don't come to a Maine area. You know, we get a Canadian kid, so we're more inclined to take that older player. But I see more teams doing it now, and hey, I think it makes for a better game.
You've been opportunistic in some other ways, and I think very rightly so, where you've looked for transfers. You've had kids like Belfay, Bobby Beers, who's playing great for the Maine Mariners from Northern Arizona. You've had an open door for the quality transfer kid, and you've done very well with them.
That's really helped us, and you know, I think you can kind of make up for some mistakes maybe. You know, you've recruited long enough, Bob, and to know, I'd say for every 5 players you think you bring in, you're going to make 1 mistake out of 5. And if you can get a decent transfer, hey, that guy usually wants to prove something. You know, he doesn't want to be a mistake. He doesn't want to be able to go home and say, boy, 2 coaches don't think I can play. So he usually works really hard for you, and I like giving kids a second chance.
We're in the middle of the game right now. We're between periods, but Providence, tell us about them.
Well, they're certainly a great experienced club, and they're very mature. You know, they went through the NCAAs last year. Great defensive club, very good ice balance. They always seem to have 3 people back, and that makes them difficult to play against.
Well, Coach, a lot of people talk about your talent, but I see your team brilliantly coached night after night, and, you know, we've had a chance to watch you a lot, and you do a heck of a job with them.
Thanks, Bob. I think you have to do that in this league if you're going to stay anywhere, you know, near, because every other coach in the league does the same thing.
Well, I hope you've had good luck as we go along. We're in the middle of the game, but best wishes as you head down toward playoff time.
Thanks, Bob.
We'll be right back.
Get sold out Alphond Arena in Orono, Maine. Sold out for the 78th consecutive Maine Black Bear home game. And after 2 periods, the Bears lead the Providence College Friars 2-0. Both goals coming in the second period. And the first came very early on, 26 seconds into the period. And this will be a goal for Claudio Scremin as the puck was deflected by a Providence stick.
Great picks on the outside by Belfay, and on the inside by Selfie. Just shut down the forwards from getting out to cover the point. Good. That's the shot by Scremin, and Boback, the center, coming out, gets the stick in front of it and deflects it. But Belfay on the right side and Selfie on the left side picked Bennett and Gaudreau, and they couldn't get out to cover the point. There's a nice little indirect pass. Olsen to Burke. Providence just gets themselves in a real pickle here. There's the pass by Olsen. And here comes Burke. Now you're going to see on the rush, no one picks up Burke. And right at the end of the picture here, after Burke shoots and threads the needle just inside the post, you're going to see 4 Providence shirts come into the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody on the right side, no one on the left side. 2 men on 1 man to the left, no one on Burke. Burke has a lot of room to shoot as he comes in there as a right shot on the left side. See, whenever this is the off wing, but whenever you're a right shot, see him use those guys, but Merton did a pretty good job of concentrating on the shooter. He just threaded the needle just inside the post.
The official scorer, to his credit, journeyed to our truck between periods to get a look at that first goal, and after seeing the replay you just saw, he correctly gave the goal to Scremin, his 4th of the year from Barkley, who won the face-off at 26 seconds. Then Burke scored his 5th from Pellerin and Olsen at 8:52, and it's 2-0 Maine after 2. Shots on goal significantly reduced in that second period. Providence had 4 for a 2-period total of 17. Maine had 5. They have 14 shots through 2 periods. Let's take a look now at the second period statistics. Shots attempted significantly reduced. Those 2 teams had twice as many shots combined in the first period, and many more shots on goal. And although the saves were reduced again in the second period, Merton and Del Judas called upon to make some dandy stops. And Rick Bennett is on the ice as the third period begins.
The Maine team playing Belfay, Barclay, and Selphi pretty consistently during the course of the night. John, that puck had to be a good 60 feet away, and you're up here, you're almost on the deck.
Ooh, Bennett and Belfay.
They're both going off.
Yeah, they were definitely jabbing at each other.
You have to give a good deal of credit for this line of Barclay, Belfay, and Selphi. They've been on the goal. There's Belfay. There's Bennett. I watched Belfay right at the end. There's a push. There's a whack. There's a penalty. But that line has done an excellent job. Not only have they shut down the Providence line of Bobak, Goodrow, and Bennett, but they also have been on the ice for a Maine goal. As on that Scremin goal, they were the line on the faceoff that did the great job of interfering with the defenders to allow Scremin to get that shot, as we saw it deflected by Bobak into the net.
As we mentioned several times, this is the 78th consecutive sellout at Alphonse Arena, dating back to the 86-87 season. They'll have these sellouts for a good span into the future as well. Plenty of interest here. Waiting lists for tickets, long lines for tickets. Matching penalties to Bennett and Belfay. 2 minutes each. We're hitting after the whistle. 8 seconds into the third period. So the two sides are skating four-side on their respective goaltenders. Here's a steal. Bobak down low, goal. Rob Goodrow scored. Then he got decked from behind by Scremin. And it's 2-1 in favor of Maine.
I think they're going to get a penalty. I think Maine's going to get a penalty on Scremin. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Scremin's going over the bench. Watch Scremin in front. There's the play. Nifty pass. There's a whack right from behind. I guess no call there.
The goal for Goodrow, his 16th of the year. He now has 44 career goals in 64 career games, and Bobak will pick up an assist to extend his point streak to 17 games. He's also scored in 21 of 22 games this season.
That was a nifty pass, beautiful pass by Bobak to Goodrow. As they just stole a puck and had it right in front of Del Judas, 2-on-0 in front of the net. No chance at all for the goaltender.
Carney played it off to Roy. He had it taken back by Wild Goose as he tried to make his move. Wild Goose stopped to the line by Straw. Goodrow from Bobak has Providence on the board. 32 seconds into the third period. Roy shot it through Rooney wide. It's 4-on-4 for another 58 seconds. And the puck comes free to Larry Rooney, junior defenseman from South Boston. One of 11 children, all boys. Roy with Straub out in front. Straub poked it on net. Merton made the stop. Straub able to direct it on net despite the fact that he was wearing Mario Obey on his back.
But Obey stopped skating on the back check. He started gliding with Straub. He could have had Straub stick up off the ice and been in much better back-checking position, but as players sometimes do, once they get up to him, they stop skating and end up gliding, and then the offensive player can just pull away from him as Straub did. They keep skating on the back check.
10 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And Bennett Belfay will be out of the box. Becker tried to pass off to Cowan, but Olsen back-checked all the way on the play. Olsen grabbed onto the stick of Cowan. Cowan walked right in, and Del Judas made the stop. The fans wanted a penalty, but that was Olsen who had a grab on the stick of Cowan. Took himself down, trying to draw the penalty. It did not work, and it nearly cost his team a goal. Both sides now at full strength. We've played 2.5 minutes in the third period, and Maine leads 2-1. Here's Downey out in front. Pass too far ahead of Jeffrey. Had him wide open and missed him.
He was wide open as well. He could have shot.
Flaherty. 3-on-3 as Providence moves into the zone. Now a quick shot to goal. Bob Kramer ties the game at 2.
but it's the trail man, the trail man, the trail man. Kramer coming down the middle as the third man into the zone, not picked up by Maine on the back check. Here's Flaherty. Now watch this, the trail man, the last man in, Kramer, third man. Nobody has him. Top of the face-off circle, bang, goal. That's a killer time and time again on a 2-on-2 rush. It's that third man coming in, trailing the play, behind the play, not picked up by the defenders on the back check that gets the goal.
7th of the year for Kramer, the sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island. Paul Flaherty assisting.
Nice play by Flaherty to set that goal up.
2 quick goals for Providence. 2 minutes and 18 seconds apart. And they have tied it at 2. Salfi shoved into the boards by Gaudreau. The puck is free, and Bennett came away from the pile with the puck. Now Bobak, 16:40 left in the third period. Sent it cross ice, but Carney had Gaudreau covered. Jeff Robeson shoots it into the zone. It's off the stick of Straub into the corner. And both sides taking advantage of the time to make the line change. Barkley had to go off his skate. Picked up by Belfane. Checked by Saundercook. Wild Goose back to Saundercook. He drives it in. And it's blocked by Del Judas. Now Hyber. To Saundercook. Both goalies have made some spectacular saves, but I'm sure they both feel as though on a couple of these goals, they made tougher saves on shots that didn't go in.
Yeah, no question about that, Sean. A little accolade to Saundercook. 125th game, broke Jeff Whistle's record, and now has the record for consecutive games played at Providence College.
And the 2 quick goals by the Friars. That has really quieted this big crowd here at Alfond Arena. Shot through a crowd from Obey, wide. And it's Roy off the skate of Pellerin, picked up by Olsen. He banks it in with 15:25 left in the third period. Maine and Providence tied at 2. Mario Obey, 2-on-3 with Wild Goose. Leaves it for Wild Goose, who sends it into the corner. Buying time for the rest of his teammates to come onto the ice. Lalonde had Gooden charging at him. Gooden never did get a piece of him as Lalonde sidestepped the check. Gooden got it past the oncoming Scremin. Lalonde covers at his own line, banks it away from Cowan. Free puck winds up on the stick of Larry Rooney. His cross-ice pass was deflected. Cowan got it to the line. It deflected off Scremin. Now Gooden had it poked away by Lalonde. Becker shot it into the corner. Becker and Scremin held each other off. Robitaille wound up with the puck ahead to Justin Tomberlin, the freshman from Coleraine, Minnesota. Off to Montgomery, burst of speed, and his backhand was deflected wide by Bob Cowan, who got back to make the play.
But burst of speed is right. He flew there.
2-2 the score. 14:22 left in the third period. Ryan Straub weaves through center. Laid offside, waved off as the Maine Black Bears clear. Rooney struggled with the puck, nearly lost it to Downey. Shots still in favor of Providence. Hyber. Left 2 forecheckers in his dust. It's 3-on-2. Matisse a big drive. Del Judas was aggressively out to make the stop. Now Keith Carney. Headmans the puck to Steve Widmeyer. He has help coming. Widmeyer. Tried to get it back to the point man, but Matisse deflected it. And the puck is cleared to Paul Flaherty. 2-2 the score. 13:37 left in the third period. This is the longest stretch of the night of continuous play. Kramer. Kane wide open at the point. Lets it fly. Glove save Del Judas. With the score, Providence 2 and Maine 2. We'll return to Orono, Maine right after this.
Thank you. And so, Mayor, these swiftly flowing currents create energy, which in turn creates power, which in turn brings electric light to every house in the valley.
That's very impressive, Calvin. Thank you, sir. But the contract calls for bringing Bud Light to the valley.
No wonder we're over budget.
Bud Light won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Which in turn keeps the Bud Light cold.
Everything else is just a light.
Don't miss this week's exciting edition of On Pit Road, America's total motorsports program. We've got the very best of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, the IHRA and NHRA Drag Series. We cover IMSA and kart, the bikes and the boats. It all comes your way this week on another exciting edition of America's total motorsports program, On Pit Road.
Catch the excitement of On Pit Road, Thursday at 6 p.m., only on Nesson.
Bob Kramer, a little abba-dabba move out of the corner, gets himself open, moves the puck to Kane. Kane with the shot, and the glove save by Del Judas. Kramer's played an excellent game tonight. Listed as the fourth line right wing, but he's been very, very good.
As have Andy Mattice and Paul Flaherty, his line goes.
You bet.
Burke around the boards. He went past Sorowick and Salvi. And Gaudreau there to cover for PC. Velte charging in. He got a piece of Gaudreau as Gaudreau fell down in his attempt to avoid the check.
Once again, Maine has that line matched up.
Salvi shot deflected wide.
Barclay, Velte, and Salvi against the fullback line, and that's what they've wanted all game long, and they've done a heck of a job defensively.
Kane into the zone. Lets it fly, and it deflected off the side of the net. That line does have a goal, but it was on the power play for Providence.
But they made a good, yeah, that's right. It was a 4-on-4 situation.
Excuse me, it was a 4-on-4
yeah.
situation.
And so does the Barclay line have a goal on Scrumman's goal.
Rooney played it ahead to Madigan. Blocked by Lalonde. Lalonde sends it back to Burke. 12:25 remaining in the third period. 2-2 the score. Scremin and Burke, a couple of defensemen have scored for Maine. And here in the third period, it's Gaudreau and Kramer. The 2 goals to tie the game for Providence. Roy, long pass, it hopped over the stick of Pellerin, then he was decked. And the Maine crowd and coach Sean Walsh wanted a penalty call. Obey winds up, and Del Judas kicked it aside. Centering pass, bouncing out in front. And Del Judas made a big stop as he also turned aside that shot from Sondercook. Providence had a couple of whacks out in front, and Del Judas made one big stop in particular. Maine ices the puck to get a much-needed line change. 11:45 left in the third period. We'll be right back.
Great tennis action is coming your way on Nesson. The best college players from around the country come together to see who is #1. It's the men's and women's finals of the National Collegiate Tennis Classic from the Shadow Mountain Resort in Palm Desert, California, Tuesday at 10:30, right here on your New England Sports Network.
It's an hour of racing thrills on Nesson Thursday afternoon with Race Week at 5:30 and on Pit Road at 6.
The line of Obey, Madigan, and Wild Goose getting some great chances in front. There's Madigan, takes a pop at it. Another little backhand shot coming on the other side by Obey. Madigan had the best chance right in front. There's a slide from the right point by Robeson. Last little flip shot in by Sondercook. Now Judas, a couple of nice stops in that series.
.45 left in the third period. 2-2 the score. Been a very cleanly played hockey game, as those numbers indicate.
You know, Providence, 342 penalty minutes on the season. Their opponents, 359. Maine, 486 penalty minutes on the season to their opponents, 606. So both teams well under their opponents' penalty minutes over the course of the season. And that's usually a good sign that your coaching, the messaging you're giving to the players to stay out of the box is working.
Cowan and Robitaille asked to leave. Becker and Montgomery step in, and Montgomery won't throw. Carney fell down. Becker toppled over him. Tomberlin had trouble with the bouncing puck. It winds up on the stick of Martin Robitaille. Carney's flying ahead of the play, but he lost the puck, and it's Hyber. Ahead to Gooden. He tried to center it. Straub blocked it. Now he does center it. Great stop by Del Judas on Bob Cowan. Great centering pass as well from Gooden. Cowan one-timed it right on. Another acrobatic save by Matt Del Judas. 11:10 left in the third period. 2-2 the score. Montgomery lost the puck in traffic. Kane tried to head man at Cowan. It missed him. Cowan heads off after that great chance a moment ago. Now Jim Montgomery. A little bit too far ahead of Downey with the pass. Heroic turned it back over to Lalonde. He got stopped at the line by Sean Kane. He's playing his usual solid game tonight. Merck along to the near boards. Flaherty chopped it up the boards. Widmeyer kept it in. Widmeyer moving away from Flaherty. Penalty coming up as Downey was knocked down away from the play, and Providence will be shorthanded. Del Judas is out. Extra attacker on for Maine. The whistle stops the play as Matthijs plays the puck. Maine goes to the power play in a 2-2 game, and we'll be right back.
Took it a turn away. McGinnis moving in. He scores! McGinnis with the hat trick. Bouncing puck. Gaudreau. Stopped by Cashman. Saunders in. He scores. Off the draw. Goal! Harvard comes right back.
Most of the partisans now on their feet. Providence with the 2 quick goals early in the period took the crowd out of the game for a while, but the penalty to Heroic for interference, or rather for cross-checking at 9:33, has brought the crowd back into the game.
Hey, you aren't serious if you're not standing up. Almost everybody.
Off the draw, Todd Hyber. Checked at the boards by Roy. Back at the line, Straub. One-timed it wide. He took the feed from Downey. Bobak sends it into the zone. Bobak and Gaudreau killing the penalty along with Robeson and Hyber. Straub and Carney are the point men on the power play at the moment with Downey, Roy, and Montgomery up front. Minute 35 left in the man advantage for Maine. 2-2 the score. And we are now halfway through the third period. 10 minutes remaining. Bobak threw it to an open corner. Hyber off the glove of Carney and out.
With Bennett less than 100%, they lose one of their best shorthand men, not only in the offensive end of things, but also plays defense very well in shorthand.
Robeson banked it to the line and out. Now Straub to Carney. Crowd grows a bit restless as a minute 7 remains on the power play. Carney down low, intercepted by Saundercook, and he cleared it out.
That was a nice play by Saundercook, Sean. He read that play nicely, saw Carney going inside and hustled back in to intercept that pass.
Straub faked just outside the line. That put Pellerin offside. With 50 seconds left of the penalty to Jeff Heroic. 2-2 the score. 9:17 left to be played in the third period.
You know, you hear a lot about Gaudreau, and we've now had a chance to watch Providence play a little bit more regularly as this season goes on, and he impresses me more and more every time I see him. He can shoot the puck, he can pass the puck, and he plays excellent defense all over the ice.
Wild Goose had it trapped in his uniform, and the whistle stops the play. The face-off inside the line. Jim Fitzgerald, as usual, an outstanding job refereeing this game.
One of the best in our book, Sean. We say it over and over again because it's accurate. Very seldom see him have an off night when he's officiating. And Winters and Jones, good solid linesman crew, officiating all year long has impressed us with very few situations where we've had opportunities to second-guess officials' calls, and when they're there, we take them.
Scriven was shoved off the puck by Wild Goose, and Kane cleared it out. Maine power play has struggled.
Yeah, they have.
They credit the penalty killing as well of the PC Friars. Robitaille shot it into zone. Tepper goes into the corner with Kane. Now Saundercook drives it around the boards. Robitaille kept it into Pellerin. 13 seconds left on the power play. Scremin had it deflect off the stick of Cowan. Tepper along the near boards. Pellerin. He took a sturdy check from Wild Goose. Saundercook had his stick trapped in the uniform of Olsen. He fell on the puck and got the face-off. To the left of Merton with just 2 seconds left on the penalty to Jeff Sorowick. 8:29 left third period. 2-2 the score.
Smart veteran play by Saundercook. Many times a young player will fall on the puck, particularly in his own end, and then while he's lying on top of the puck, he'll get up. You're totally defenseless when you do that. The opponent is going to come in, take a puck away from you. You're on the ice, and you're now down another man. Saundercook, veteran player, veteran senior defenseman, when he felt that he was down anywhere near that puck, he just stayed right down on it, got the face off to the left of his goaltender. Smart play.
John Walsh sends Barkley, Belfay, and Salfai out with Lalonde and Scremin. Gaudreau and Bobak, Rooney and Robeson, the foursome for Mike McShane. They'll be joined by Sorowick momentarily. In 2 seconds, as a matter of fact. Maine scored twice in the second period to take a 2-0 lead. The goals by Scremin and Burke. Gaudreau and Kramer scored here in the third period to tie it at 2 for Providence. The Friars now back at full strength, and that was Sorowick knocking Scremin off the puck after vacating the penalty box. Barkley lays it back into his own zone to Lalonde and across to Claudio Scremin. His pass intercepted by Rooney, who slides it in for PC. Bennett flying into forecheck, and he fell down as Lalonde made a move. Now Salfai with 8 minutes left in the third period. 2-2 the score. Salfai turned it over to Bennett, but Bennett returned the favor. Now it's Rooney sliding it in for the Friars. Scremin with Gaudreau in the corner. Scremin boots it ahead to Belfay. He bumped off the puck by Bobak. Then Belfay came back. And finally Scremin wound up with the puck. Salfai trying to hack it out. Robeson blocked it momentarily. Barkley battled Bennett, and it was skated out by Salfai. Salfai goes 1-on-3. Black Bear is very slow in a line change. Part of that is because Bennett is sitting on top of Barkley right by the open door to the main bench. Robeson shot it in. Both sides made a line change, and here comes Robitaille. Montgomery had some skating room, but he took his eye off the puck. Would have been 1-on-2 had he been able to field the pass. Tomlin knocked off the play by Obey. Kane swept it ahead to Madigan. As Wild Goose heading to the net. Madigan tries to head for the net. Murphy cut him off, and Del Judas covered the puck. 7 minutes left in the third period. An outstanding game tonight between Maine and Providence. They're tied at 2, and we'll be right back.
The signs of change are in the air with winter on the way. It's time for fans to start thinking about the most exciting game in town, Hockey East. The University of Maine, University of New Hampshire, Merrimack College, Lowell University, Northeastern University, Boston College, Boston University, and Providence College. 8 New England schools dedicated to academic and athletic excellence. Contact your local Hockey East school for ticket information.
Best young fighters of the country battle for their shot at the title on Fight Night from the fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock right here on your New England Sports Network.
7 minutes left, 2-2 the score. Maine scored twice in the second period. Goals by Scremin and Burke. Providence has scored twice here in the third period on goals by Gaudreau and Kramer. Friars win the faceoff. Sorowick flips it in over the net. And it's Jim Burke with Madigan in pursuit. Ahead for Pellerin. He's checked by Obey. Kept in at the line by Sorowick, and now cleared out by Burke. Kane. Del Judas dropped it for Murphy. Burke back to Murphy. Now Roy. Murphy gave it back to Kane. He tried to feed Madigan and hopped off his stick. Here to hit somebody along the main bench. A whistle. And it's flipped into the zone by Sorowick.
I think it might hit the lines.
Maybe that's what it was. He was along the main bench.
center zone defense is very good right now, and they're back checking the puck away and generating some offense out of good defense in the middle.
Here's the break for Olsen, but Sondercook got back to break it up. That's an icing call. 5:58 remaining. Providence starting to widen its edge in shots on net.
Well, they've had an excellent third period. This is beginning to have the scent of overtime with 5:58 remaining.
Sean McDonough with Bob Norton. And we hope you'll join us for the Bean Pot Monday night. BU in the first game against Boston College. Northeastern against Harvard in the nightcap. The 38th annual Bean Pot. And as usual, it's anybody's ball game. All the teams have been ranked in the top 15 this week.
Certainly appropriate you should use a Billy Claryism and call it anybody's ball game.
Of course, everybody wants to be the underdog. All the coaches the other day at the luncheon claiming to be the underdog. Because the underdog always wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. Rooney shot it in. It was deflected. Down to 5:25 left in this 2-2 game. Clear, banked off Becker. Del Judas swept it to the boards. Straub shot it to his own bench.
Be interesting to see now with 5:17 remaining if Mike McShane, who does not have the last change, the home team has the last change, might try to shake that fullback Bennett-Gaudreau line loose from the checking line that Maine's been employing against them all night long. It's been the Maine third line of Barclay, Beltway, and Southby against fullback Bennett and Gaudreau. And now with 5:17, you might try a shift or two to try to shake those guys loose and see if you can pop a winner here with 5:17 remaining in the game. Of course, the line that Peller and Olsen and Jean-Yves Roy has been a going concern for Maine.
Robitaille lays it ahead of Tomberlin. Robitaille steams toward the net, gets the pass, and Merton made the stop. Robitaille didn't have a lot on it as Sorowick was badgering him all the way. Robitaille out of the pile again with the puck, but Flaherty took it back. He has Kramer ahead of the play. Kramer was begging for the puck, didn't get it. Now he chases it down along the boards and centers one at a penalty. Flaherty was wrapped up by Lalonde, and Maine will be shorthanded. Providence goes to the power play in a 2-2 game with 4:40 left, and we'll be right back.
I said, put on some steaks and get the Queen a Bud Light.
Bud Light's clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Henry, they're Pop-Tops.
Everything else is just a light.
Delivers more college hockey than anyone else.
Kramer and Flaherty work to the inside. Now you see Flaherty, Christian Lalonde right there holding Flaherty as Flaherty finally got the puck over to Kramer, and he was shooting up the middle, wanted Kramer to just flip him a little pass. Christian Lalonde saw that play develop. He grabbed onto him and takes the penalty as Flaherty draws a penalty, gives Providence a power play with 4:40 remaining in the final period, and Flaherty's been a factor. He got the key goal here was a Kramer goal on a nice drop pass from Flaherty. Goal that made it 2-2. Now Flaherty puts Providence on power play with an aggressive play down the chute. Now you got a situation where you see that big line out there, Bennett pulled back into the throw, and there's nothing you can do now to match lines against him. You're just going to have to play your best shorthand and hold on to your hat for 2 minutes. Maine, as we said, 9 shorthand goals on the season, though, Sean. You can't get careless with them. They're very dangerous.
Bobak won the draw right back to Rooney. Gaudreau is the other point man. He threw it toward the net. Carney swept it into the corner. Burke around the boards. And Barkley cleared. Barkley and Salfi, Carney and Burke killing the penalty. Gaudreau and Rooney are the point men for Providence with Bobak, Bennett, and Cowan up front. 2-2 the score. 4:18 left in the third period. And a minute 36 left on the power play for Providence. Neither team has scored a power play goal tonight. Providence did score a 4-on-4 goal. Gaudreau to Cowan along the board. He threw it toward the net and Judas covered it. With a minute 18 left on the penalty. 3:58 left in the period. 2-2 the score.
Gaudreau loves to be on that side where he can come in off the forehand. He's on that right side now, right point. Loves to get set up by the face-off circle and get that shot in a little bit tighter. Had a good chance right then, but delayed a little bit. Never got the shot off. There's a little flip shot right to the inside. Bobak coming in from left to right, looking for the rebound. Judas saw him and froze it, got the face-off to his left.
Obey and Robitaille now on the face-off. Both coaches have changed the personnel. Gaudreau is still at the point, and it was cleared around Gaudreau. Gaudreau and Rooney still at the points, but it's Obey, Wildgoose, and Matthijs up front now. Robitaille killing the penalty with Keller and Straub and Scremin. Wildgoose. Matthijs. 56 seconds left of the power play as Scremin cleared.
Now that was not a good play by Matthijs. Stopped. He was not deep enough inside to stop and carry out that play successfully.
3:20 left. Third period. 2-2 the score. Providence has 35 seconds left on the power play. Obey shot it in. Judas left it back to the net for Straub, and he drove it out.
Watch out for Mr. Jean-Yves Drouard in shorthand. He has 3 shorthand goals on the season.
Maine short-handed for another 17 seconds. Obey into the zone. Left it for Matthijs. He sent it to the corner. Burke had the bump put on him by Obey. Dug free by Matthijs. Out in front. Free puck. Wildgoose stopped by Judas. Free puck again. And cleared to the boards as Maine comes back to full strength. Another great stop by Matt Judas. Obey sends it into the corner to Wildgoose. Centering pass blocked by Carney. And the puck winds up in the seats. 2:28 left. Maine at full strength thanks to Matt Judas.